Okay, here is a 2004 Yamaha R1 with a leaking water pump. Here's how we did it. I'm making this video to give other people courage to do this. We hung it from a girder, nice and high. At that point, we took the exhaust off. Go real gentle on these bolts because we stripped them in our head and had to fix those head studs up. But moving on, here is a 2004 Yamaha R1 water pump. Here is the oil pump. A few pipes are off it. Here is the water pump relief. If the water pump seal starts to leak, then it comes down here and comes clean out the bottom of the sump and ends up on the ground. The water pump and the oil pump are on the same shaft, driven by that cog coming from the primary off the back of the crankshaft, off the clutch basket, somewhere in there. This pipe here is held by that Allen bolt, and of course the hose clip and the rubber clip. If you take that bolt there out, that hose off, and wriggle this left and right, it will come out of the water pump with one O-ring. Just slide it out. There's an O-ring here as well, where it goes into the housing. The water pump comes out by the sprocket, just here. I wish this was easier with lighting conditions, but it's not. This is a water pump pipe going to the radiator. It comes here, down the left side of the bike, takes a turn, and right there where my finger shows, there's an Allen key headed bolt. Just undo that Allen key, and that, of course, you've got to take the chain guard off the sprocket, right? Undo that Allen key. This pipe here has another Allen key here, and then you can just take this pipe, wriggle it back and forward, and it comes out of the water pump and it's in your hand. Of course, I'm on my way to putting this back together. See the steel pipe here? It is an oil feed or a drain that goes into one hole up there. It's not confusing. Just take the Allen key out, withdraw the tube. It's to do with supplying oil to the gearbox. Just goes back and you can put it in and take it out. There's only one hole it goes into up there. Not hard to work that out. Some things that I learned about this. Number one, with that pipe removed, with that pipe over there that I just showed you removed, you can undo that bolt. You can undo that bolt. And then there's a little sleeve inside of here, like a locating dowel. Just give it a wriggle and the sleeve will come out in your hand. At that point, the water pump, oil pump combination is free to move left and right and to tilt. So what you do is you take the combination and you bring it all the way over to the right side of the bike and you pull that aluminium out of the hole. Then you tip it down towards yourself and you just take your fingers and you take the chain off the drive sprocket for the assembly. Nothing hard about that, don't overthink it. At that point, you take out the assembly, Make a clean area where you're working. Undo the row of Allen bolts around here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Undo the nut on the sprocket. Disassemble the oil pump. Take the gears out, mark them with a felt pen. Keep them in time and put them back the same way. You'll find one pin holding the oil pump drive gears to the shaft. Just stay in order. Nothing scary inside the oil pump. When the water pump is on your bench in your clean area, you undo this row of bolts around the end of the water pump and you withdraw the impeller shaft out of the water pump. You will then at that point find inside the water pump in this middle section here very simple things. Number one, you will find a mechanical carbon water pump seal. Up to you, get it out with a screwdriver, withdraw the seal out. Inside this section here, you will then find an oil pump seal just there. The U part of the seal, the part where you cannot see the spring, goes towards the water pump impeller. Inside there, you will find a 6001 bearing. Knock it out with a punch and replace it. About then you're on the turnaround. Of course this will be on your bench. Hit your 6001 bearing in because it'll be knackered. Hit a new one in there. They're cheap, $7. Then put your oil pump seal in. Water pump oil pump seal. It is the one that keeps the oil into the bearing. Put the spring towards the oil pump. You know the spring on the inside of the seal? Put it towards the oil pump. At that point, put this surface here on a block of wood vertically and get a socket and hitch your mechanical seal into your water pump, the one that's holding the water. At that point, you'll be holding the impeller of the water pump. On the end of the impeller, on the inside, there's a white carbon seal. Hook it out with a needle or a screwdriver. Clean it all up and push in with your fingers the new white carbon seal that runs against the mechanical seal, and you'll get it. Just push it onto the impeller. Assemble all this stuff back up. Make sure you timed your water pump. If a water pump's been running for thousands of kilometers, I tried to get it running with the gears in the same place, which when you pull it apart, put a felt mark. Then you take your oil pump assembly, you put it up here like this, and go across to here, put the chain on, put the assembly to the right, and then over here, you put it up and into that hole, so it goes to that steel pipe on the side of the bike. Put the sleeve in, then the nut. The sleeve is like a locating dowel. Put the other nut, so to speak, in here, bolt in here. Again, put your gearbox tube in here, and you don't need any more information than that. Put your pipe back in, start assembling your oil pickup, and you're out of the woods. So remember, I made this video for one reason, to take the scariness away of what is actually inside a Yamaha R1 when it starts leaking on the water pump. This is not too hard to do. It's just kind of scary before you pull it apart. Okay, hope that helps you. This video is coming to you all the way from New Zealand.